Are you feeling stuck with a situation at work? Is there a process in your team that's driving you mad? Well, I just might have a solution for you. It's called the business experiment. I'm Richard Atherton. I'm a business effectiveness coach and a lean and agile expert. Now let's get into it. Let's begin with some context. So the business experiment came out of the Lean Change framework. Check out leanchange.org for more detail on this framework. So let's take that frustration, and this is where you start. You get really clear on all the facets of that issue. Spend some time with your team to develop some insights about your current scenario. You could use the lean technique of the 5 whys here. Ask yourself, why have we got this issue 5 times to really get to the heart of the issue. So that's insights. Developing insights is the start. Next, it's options. This is about getting creative. This is all about numbers. So again, spend some time with your team and brainstorm all the possible ways that you could solve this issue. I suggest getting all of those ideas on individual post-its, putting them up on a wall, and then plotting them by complexity to implement that option versus the expected benefit of implementing it. And once you've got those plotted out, to get going with this, I would suggest you pick the option that's the least amount of complexity but the highest amount of likely benefit. Your quick win to get going. Once you've selected your preferred option, now is the time to experiment, to define your experiment. And this takes a secular approach, starting with prepare. And we're going to talk a bit more about how we do that in a second. Then you want to introduce your experiment to the business. And next it's review that experiment. Did you get the results that you hope to achieve as a result of running that experiment? And finally, do you want to go around the loop again with a slightly altered version of that experiment? Or was that successful and it's time to tackle the next problem? So that's the Lean Change Management Framework. Let's get into how we define a business experiment. And to do this, I am going to invite you to embrace your inner scientist. So for our business experiment, I'm going to take the example of the Wernham Hogg paper company, which some of you might recognize from the office. We're going to start with a hypothesis. That's always where we start. So we're going to say, in this case, by creating a backstage video of the paper making process, we're going to get loads of views, and that's going to lead to more sales leads for Wernham Hogg. That's our hypothesis. Next, it's prerequisites. So in this case, we're going to need a camera crew to make our video and a presenter. Next, it's measures. How are we going to know if this is successful? Here it's going to be views of our video and the leads generated into our sales team by that video. Next up, how are we going to communicate this experiment internally? We're going to email all staff, and we're going to explain to them that we hope to generate more leads through this video. That will lead to more sales, and that's going to impact their staff bonus. So making it really clear what's in it for them in participating in this experiment. So useful to spend a lot of time in this box. Next, it's how we're going to support people. I'm suggesting there's some training of the people who are going to present in this video. And we're also going to talk about minimizing the disruption to the shop floor when we make the video. Finally, it's next steps, how we're going to get into action with this experiment. Here we're going to book a camera crew on a particular date, and we're going to invite some volunteers to present in this video. That was the business experiment canvas. Canvas is a really important concept in lean change management. We want to see the whole and get everything on one page to communicate. Came out of the lean change management framework. guided by the experimental ethos first espoused by Henry Ford, no less, and his quote, "We should regard every process in the business as experimental." Now, I invite you to get going, pick an issue, throw out some options, define your experiment, and tell me in the comments below how you get on. Good luck.